this day and age, about half the general managers went to an Ivy League school or close. You were a ball player. You were drafted. You became a ball player right away. You didn't go to college, and then you rose to become a GM. Can that happen today? And tell us a little bit about how you got your start. How did you get a job in baseball and were able to rise to general manager?
Yeah, I was fortunate. So I was playing in the minor leagues with Oakland, Seattle. Went to Europe. I played in Italy. It was one of the best experiences of my life. It was a kid from Queens and in Tuscany, Italy. Overlooking the Mediterranean, waking up in the morning and seeing Isla Elba. I was able to speak Italian fluent and learn that and come back to New York and not know what to do. And in the end, what happened was that I was offered a position to be a scout and a coach with the Texas Rangers. A scout that signs me by the name of Ralph DeLulo, and then guys like Brian Lamb and Sandy Johnson with the Texas Rangers, and opened doors for me. And I decided to start that track. First job they offered me as a scout was $3,500, and I was the happiest guy in the world. I said, okay, let's go, let's do it. The bottom line, I worked my way through and all that. And then, of course, ended up being, from all the bottom to the top to be a general manager, and then of course being a general manager of Montreal, then being a general manager. Wow, I mean, Shea Stadium is like 114th Street, you call it, 111th Street, 114th Street. I lived on 111th Street. And here's a kid from Queens, from Newtown High School, PSL, public school system, being the general manager of the New York Mets. And we came close to that World Series in 2006. And the Wilpon family, Fred Wilpon and the whole family, they were great to me. They gave me that opportunity. I worked for an ex-president, George Bush, in Texas. I was there before he came in. So over the years, you just come in contact with people. But I was always taught to me, and I thought Scott Rowland had a great speech yesterday about his heroes, And, my heroes were my parents, my family. That's what I think, the people around me. You grew up in kid, and, I'm a big, I don't know if you guys seen the movie The Bronx Tale. So I grew up in Queens, and it was like that, so I had choices to make. My father was like De Niro. He taught me like that, and I believe that, yes, through talent evaluation, I was fortunate. I believe, so this is where I see baseball is at, and this is how I describe talent evaluation, okay? I think that when people say, why talent evaluation? Why choose that? I just think that decision makings have two components. They have science, which is data, and I feel that the evaluators are artists. You're an artist because it's something that is subjective, that you and I always tended to go to the artist side and felt like, that and sometimes even the rebel side, the one opposite. You know well about that, Joel, and I know, John, you guys got here because we all think alike. There's no way you don't get here. Knowing Joel the way I know, okay, and John the way you know, what's made you guys is because you've been different. And I took that path, That being said, but I'm only as good as my people. I've only been as good as far as, when you say I'm a good talent evaluator, I'm only as good as my people. I take a lot of pride. To answer your question, yes, I think the game will be shown. I'm very proud to see a Dana Brown become a general manager. Dana Brown was a kid that I hired with the Montreal Expos. So I hired 3 kids in Montreal Expos and the general managers today. 3. So Alex Anthopoulos was probably one of the best baseball men in the game. I'll hire him in the parking lot. Okay, why did I hire him? Because his passion, he was just passionate, and I believe in him. And he's a scout. Perry Manizian, another guy who's a general manager so I think a lot of it is, but when you bring those young people in, they make you better. I'm a big believer. David Stearns with the Mets. First opportunity. It's a kid like David Stearns was a local kid, a kid from the East Side, to be able to bring him in and give him opportunity. But I always believe that you're only as good as the people around you. And that's been part of my success.